Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. 10 DBS, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to another episode of Boot to the Face, powered by fullpresscoverage.com. Go there for all your sporting wants and needs, where I am sure they have wall-to-wall coverage on the getting snipped holiday that is known as March Madness. You watch any March Madness, EJ?
Yeah, I've been watching it, like, not like every single game, but I've been watching like the close ones. And of course, I watched my game costs get bounced last week. I was tight about that, but it's been pretty intriguing so far. SEC ain't doing well as people thought they were going to do, but
Why would people think they were going to do well? We're a football conference.
They've been where you been at? Like the past 5 years, they've been like,
besides like Kentucky.
You're thinking about how it usually it's been, like, I guess throughout the most of our lives, but the past since like 2018 or so, I think the SEC got the most teams in the tournament. I think them in the Big 12, I think, were neck and neck.
But who been win? Did Texas get eliminated already?
Yeah, they did.
Tennessee, right?
Yeah. And the ACC only got like 4 teams in this year. Like, that's known as the basketball school. Them in Big Ten, I think only got like 3 teams in. So roles are kind of reversed, but a lot of ACC teams got bounced. So
I think this is the first year I haven't done a bracket. It snuck up on me. I got offered a couple brackets, and then before I knew it, the tournament started. I was like, "Fuck!" I was supposed to enter in a bracket. Completely forgot about it. But go to fullpresscoverage.com. They will talk about all that and all this Otani nonsense. Shout out to the homie Chris White Sox who just hit me up asking me my opinion on it. I'm like, I don't have one. Because I haven't turned my baseball brain on yet. That usually doesn't kick in until after either the Masters or WrestleMania, whichever one of those is the last one of the month of April. Then I turn my baseball brain on and start kind of paying attention to the Braves. But I know there's a scandal. I know like his handler was gambling or some shit like that. He probably did it, but
yeah, he did it.
I can't give you an opinion one way or the other right now because I don't know enough.
I mean, you just gave your opinion right there. You think he did it?
I said he probably did it. I didn't say I think he did it.
Well, you think he probably did it. So there it is.
But I didn't say I think. I'm just saying he probably did it. That's not my opinion. That's just me saying he probably did it.
So saying that he probably did it is your opinion. You're trying to do some type of inception mindfuck right now.
I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm saying he probably did it.
And if he did, he has the fall man. And that's what usually happens when you got millions in the bank. You got a fall guy.
Unless you're Michael Vick and all your people told on you.
Well, a lot of things that are wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Probably the skin color. But we weren't going to go on a tangent on that.
Yeah, but I mean, like, all your buddies, somebody should have, like, if I was in Vic's camp, I'd have been like, yo, man, I'm going to go to jail for these, like, 3 years, but you better fucking take care of me when I get done. Or I'm singing like a motherfucking bird.
You think they probably didn't try it?
It didn't seem like it from what I remember.
I think they probably did try, and then the feds or whoever investigated him kept digging and digging. I feel like Otani, they'll just take his word for it. He's harmless.
I think you get different interrogations by who you are. And
Exactly.
I think Otani's people probably got like some little nerdy motherfucker asking them questions, but Vic's people, they had that nigga from Juice. You know he fucked up, right? Shine that
Exactly.
fucking light on him. You know you fucked up, right?
Exactly. Couldn't wait to throw his black ass in jail.
They was in there like Takashi 6ix9ine.
Singing,
He
telling,
did.
break out the
Uh,
cheese, rats.
I don't know shit about baseball, EJ, but I can tell you what, I am tuned the fuck into professional wrestling right now. This is so much fun. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover. Let's start. Let's start with some AEW. We had two new champions crowned last week.
Indeed, indeed. You had Okada getting it off your boy Eddie Kingston, the
Badass
Continental.
Eddie Kingston.
Hey man, did we say we're not a fat shaming show?
I can't shame people that are fat when I'm fat. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like two negatives, so it's a positive.
All right, so I guess we're gonna be black shaming our own people since we're already black. Might as well.
Yeah, but it's two of us that are black. Only one of us is fat. So see what I'm saying? It's math.
That math ain't mathing, but I digress. We had Adam
All right.
Copeland. We had Adam Copeland get it off of Christian in the main damn good main event.
Yeah. Uh of those two champions, I'm way more excited about Okada, but I feel like they've relegated Okada to just like a guy.
What? How?
I don't know. He just doesn't seem like he's running around with the Young Bucks. He's kind of wrestling Eddie Kingston instead of the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like putting him down. I'm just saying Osprey feels bigger than Okada does.
I think it's promo because Osprey's out there giving a promo every week. But I think Okada is right where he wants to be and probably right where he needs to be. Not everybody needs to get shoehorned in that world title picture
I can
because
see that.
the Continental Crown, let him elevate that belt. We still don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
And it gets defended in a tournament like their version of the G1. So maybe you'll elevate it in that way. What is Okada, 37, 38? Somewhere
Mm.
around that ballpark.
He's younger than Cody.
Yeah, so he probably, he's in the Young Bucks, and that's probably like the biggest faction right now because Undisputed Kingdom ain't really doing anything. And this new gimmick with the Bucks, I still don't like them, but at least this is something with their heel gimmick. They're being their true selves. Just give it some time with Okada. I,
Yeah.
I I feel like, yeah, I just feel like he's like right there in the middle. I don't think he's an afterthought, but he's not at the top. But he's making a lot of money. Maybe you probably do want to get your money back and eventually get him in the title picture. But it's only been there for 3 weeks or so. Let it simmer a little bit.
Maybe I feel the way I feel about him because he's wrestling Eddie fucking Kingston.
And he did what he needed to do. He got that belt off him, right? It would have been a different thing if he would have lost him. Then I would have been in agreement with you if he would have lost to Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
But he got
Okada
it.
got a drop kick, buddy. He
Yeah.
looked he looked like a spry Randy Orton with that drop kick.
Yeah, I know you and Marty were big Okada fans pre-pandemic. I haven't really watched a lot of his pre-pandemic stuff. I've seen more so his post-pandemic stuff. I know he had some. Didn't he have some uh, barn burners with Omega pre-pandemic?
Yeah. Yeah. Okada's one of those he's one of those guys I look like we talk about this all the time. For the new listeners, if you're just discovering us, I'm more of a storytelling match as opposed to a high spot match. And Okada was known for those fucking 30, 45 minute to an hour matches at Wrestle Kingdom where now I don't need you to wrestle for an hour, but I need the story in the match. I don't need motherfuckers just coming out doing Canadian destroyers left and right, right? Like work on the arm, work on the leg, like tell me a story in the match. And he always did that, which is why I was a big fan of him. So yeah, big fan of Okada. Got to see him wrestle live.
You said you got to see him wrestle live?
Yeah, I mean, last time they were here in Atlanta, he wrestled live against three jobbers, and then I was at ROH Supercard of Honor MSG. He was in the New Japan Championship match.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I think it was him, Jay White, and who was the third guy? I thought it was a triple threat, if I'm not crazy.
Hmm.
Whatever.
Probably. I can't even think of somebody on the top of my head. Naito.
No, Naito was in a different. You know what? Now I'm fucking. I'm sitting here bragging about the fact that I saw the
Mhm.
guy wrestle live, and I can't even. I thought it was a ladder match too. ROH Supercard. Of
Which year was this WrestleMania 35 year?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty easy for you to look it up. I'm sure
Yeah.
it was crazy. Was it MSG, right?
Yep.
MSG, that's big time. I know New Japan is the biggest company over there in Japan, but you know, still you're relying on a US crowd to know your product and from what you tell me, they sold it out.
You know what's funny about that is I got into a little Twitter thing with Cody that year about it. He responded to me like multiple times too. We had like a little back and forth like 4 or 5 times because I was asking if he was going to be there,
Mm.
and he was like, and this is when AEW first started, and he was like, "No, I'm not working any WrestleMania weekends anymore." Which, by the way, you're a liar because you've worked like 3 WrestleMania weekends in a row, but whatever. Um, and I was like, damn, that sucks. Like, I was expecting y'all were gonna be there. That's why I bought my ticket. And he was like, well, we were never advertised, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but y'all kind of like we're still there. And he's right. They weren't advertised, but they kind of made it seem like they were gonna be there. And then they weren't because AEW started. Which, whatever. I still got to go to MSG. I wasn't bitching about it, but it was no, it was just Jay White versus Okada
Mm.
in a one-on-one match. Then what was the triple threat match? Must have been the ROH World Title match.
Mm. ROH, it was like a co show with ROH.
Yeah, it was ROH New Japan. It was G1 Supercard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rucker getting into it with somebody on Twitter. You don't say.
Of all people, me and Cody have gotten into it a couple times on Twitter. When he tried to say that Darby Allin was the new Sting a bunch of years ago, like I had an issue with that, and he fucking jumped in to tell me he was right and I was wrong. And I was like,
Sting is just from a different era. There'll never be another Sting. The
"Thank
business
you,
ain't set up that way.
thank you. I get it. Yeah, they were both young with face paint and short blonde hair, but Darby's not a young Sting."
Darby's Darby. I mean, that's what he does for this generation. Let Sting be his own legend.
Yeah. Of the two new champions, who are you looking forward to the most of defending their title and seeing what kind of run they're gonna have?
Probably Okada, just because he's just getting to the company. But I'm a little bit curious about Adam Copeland's title run because before this show happened, I talked to you about it. I'm like, he does not need that belt. This belt needs to be for like a Daniel Garcia or a Hobbs or somebody like that to elevate them. But then I heard on Collision he's supposed to be doing his Cope Open, right?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
I'm I may be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, that's supposed to be what's happening. So I guess if he treats it like, it'll be like a copycat. Didn't John Cena have a US Open? So
Yeah.
if he does something like that, I guess that would be, a little bit different. So I guess I wouldn't mind for that. But once he drops it, it needs to be to up and comer. It just doesn't need to be him and Christian Cage passing it back and forth. And this feud needs to be over. I feel like this was you know, the send off for it. There's no need to run this back, but you
I don't
never
think
know.
so. I think this feud is gonna go on again until what's the next pay-per-view after Dynasty? Double or Nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna run this till Double or Nothing. I'm more interested in Okada because honestly, like, I don't give a fuck about seeing Edge wrestle every week. Like, I'm sorry. He hasn't been good since he returned a couple years ago. Like, name he came back what? In the year
2020,
Kobe died. So that was what,
2020,
2019?
2020.
No, he came back 2020. You're right. Right before COVID. He's been back 4 years. Give me 3 bangers that Edge has been in.
Him, the triple threat with Roman Reigns and him and Randy Orton. What was that backlash? I go
Him and
like
Randy
those
Orton
two.
had, I wouldn't call anything him and Randy Orton did a banger.
That was a good match. Not their WrestleMania. Were they at WrestleMania at first? Yeah, they were at
They
the
had
Wrestle.
one they had one literally billed as the greatest wrestling match ever.
That one was good. The one at WrestleMania was too long. I like the one they called the greatest match ever.
All right, you've got two.
And then this past one on Dynamite.
And
3.
let me tell you why I can refute those 3 matches. The one this past week was a gimmick match, which I had a lot of issues with, which we can talk about. And the other 2 matches you named, he's in there with Roman Reigns, Bryan Danielson, and Randy Orton. 3 of the best wrestlers of the past 20 years. Of course you're going to have a banger with him.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a Copeland guy, so you're just not gonna be a Copeland guy.
Yeah.
I'm not like against them, but I'm not like a stan of him.
Yeah. This match I thought was it didn't make logical wrestling sense, right? Like Christian's a heel. Heels are supposed to be pussies. He was handcuffed, got kicked in the nuts like 6 times in a row, still didn't quit. Edge pulled out a 2x4 with nails coming out of it and threatened to hit him in the balls, and he still didn't quit. Then he hit him in the balls with the fucking nails, and he still didn't quit. And then he quit before he got hit in the head with it. Why are you making the heel, the chicken shit heel that Christian is, look like a badass and just not going to give up? That's something a babyface does.
Yeah, I get it, but then you could tell a story about how he's treating that TNT title like Gollum, like it's his precious. Like it takes that much to rip it from him because he's been obsessed with it. You could go that angle, but like you said, it probably would have made a little bit more sense if he would have quit like right away. But it was. I thought it was a fun match.
It was a fun match, but whatever. So we got Okada and we got Adam Copeland as your new Continental and your TNT champions. Was there any other AEW news we needed to get to?
That's pretty much all WWE right now. You
Yeah.
had Mercedes. Looks like her and Willow are heating up a little bit. She's like, "Were you gonna hit me?"
Oh, we got to talk about the street fight, the women's street fight.
Look, I guess we can talk about it now. I was gonna save it for power rankings, but let's talk about it now.
Them 4 women deserve all the flowers, that's what everybody says now, that you want to give them. That shit was hard hitting. It was good. Like I was intrigued through the whole time. Willow and Statlander coming out there and White. I thought Bailey was on TV. Did they not look like Bailey? Both of them, like just by the way they were dressed. I think that was Sky Blue's like star making performance. I thought she stole the show.
Yes, she did. And I like how they continue the storytelling with it, if I'm not mistaken. Because wasn't Mercedes, wasn't she connected in it as well? Or was that
Not
still
that
on
match.
Dynamite?
That was on Dynamite, but the match on Rampage, she actually didn't show up for that one.
Okay. Well, either way, like you said, that can be Sky Blue's star making performance. They just got to follow up with it. Like you said, it was like hard hitting, and they all went out. The only nitpick of it is if Sky Blue's gonna blade herself, she got to kind of dig in there a little bit. She had like 2 drops of blood.
She ain't fucking Dusty Rhodes with big ass scars on her forehead. Like the girl's like 24 years old.
Okay, but Britt did it, and then what was it? Bunny Blade, the Bunny and what's Kip Sabian's girl?
Penelope Ford.
Yeah, they were able to do it.
Yeah, everybody you just named ain't on TV no more. So why sacrifice your forehead if Tony's just gonna take you off TV in 4 months?
All right. Don't do that.
I'm just don't do what? Don't make sense.
Yeah. You have like you say 2 different arguments for why they're not on TV. That's not the reason why they're on TV, but
I ain't saying that's why, but I'm saying they all cut their fucking foreheads open and probably sliced it real bad, and now they're not on TV. So if you're just gonna get taken off TV, why mess up your face? Like I said, the girl's 24, 25 years old. She ain't got time to be walking around with fucking blade jobs all over her forehead.
she did it though, so she just didn't do a
Yeah,
good
but
job.
yeah, she did it like she was popping a pimple.
But
It was enough blood for me to know she was bleeding.
that's why I said it's a small. But besides that, it was a good match, like you said.
Who
That's
did a
why
worse blade job, her or Cody on Monday Night Raw?
I don't even. I don't even know if that was a blade job. That might have been like paint or whatever they did Hollywood blood that they used. You think they'll let him out? Because Vince was against that, but who knows with Triple H?
I thought I saw Cody one of the times that The Rock was like talking to the camera. I thought it looked like Cody was back there like fucking with his forehead. I could be wrong. But that's just the fucking wrestling dork in me, like paying attention to a bunch of other shit when I should be watching the most electrifying man in sports entertainment talk to me. But anyway, back to the ladies match, man. It was really good. Fucking Sky Blue put thumbtacks in that lady's mouth and kicked her in the face. Like, I'm sorry, no, thank you. Like, what if I swallow one of these motherfuckers on accident?
And cut your like insides up. I
Yeah,
know it's a. I don't know how dangerous it is because I'm not a wrestler, but it doesn't look safe to me. It's risky. It's not
I
like it's
don't.
fake thumbtacks. They're real thumbtacks.
Yeah, I don't know anybody I trust enough to be like, oh yeah, I'll put a mouthful of thumbtacks. Just make sure you really don't kick me in the face. And y'all both got adrenaline going. There's 10,000 people watching you. I don't think I trust anybody that much. When we're going over that in the pre-match rehearsal, I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. No,
I know, right? But what a crazy ass match. What and I said this before. I know either one of us aren't a proponent of more belts, but what if like the women's tag team belts were on the line in that match? I think that would elevate it even more.
ooh, yeah, but Julia Hart's already got a belt, but and it was a gimmick match. So if it was just a tag team match without all the street fight and shit like that, and they did it, I'd agree with you. But since it was a gimmick match, I think it was a good blow off feud for uh two teams that don't like each other.
Besides Julia being the champion, you were fine when Sting went out on the tag team match for the tag team titles in that match, but it's not okay when the women do it. What kind of sexist stuff is that, Rucker?
It ain't got nothing to do with sexist. It's got something to do with one of the people you're talking about is Sting, and the other people are not.
It just boils down to that, huh?
Yeah, we're playing with a different rule book.
Okay, fair enough. At least you said that with conviction.
Let's get to some WWE. SmackDown featured some qualifying matches for the tag titles that we're not even going to talk about. And Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes faced off for the first time since all the shit hit the fan one on one with nobody else there, just Roman and Cody, no Rock. And I think Roman's been listening to Boot to the Face because he called Cody a politician and said, you want to kiss some babies or something like that. He said, and I was like, I think I've heard that somewhere before. Obviously, Roman ain't listening to Boot to the Face, but
I've heard Busted Open say it too. He comes out in his suits and he's a little bit too polished, like a politician and whatnot.
well, fuck them. I said it first.
There you go.
Just want the smoke everywhere. How'd you like the segment? I
You
have
talk
some thoughts on it, but what did you think of it?
you talk about SmackDown, right?
Yeah, Cody and Roman.
Mm. I did not. I didn't like it. Um, Roman, I think it's a double-edged sword because he has the cachet where he doesn't need a script, but if he doesn't have a script and he freestyle, he kind of stumbles over his words a little bit. And it wasn't terrible, but when you are, paired up in the same story with The Rock, we all know how The Rock gets down. And for some reason, I was noticing it with the SmackDown promo that he did, but that's my thoughts on it.
I felt the same way about Cody.
Really,
Yeah, I felt like Cody just wasn't I thought Roman was fine. Like he's in his tribal chief bag. It wasn't anything special, but I don't know. I thought Cody came off like a fucking heel again. Like the way he was talking about everything, so slow and talking to everybody like they're so dumb, and he's so smart because he's a Rhodes. I don't know. He rubbed me the wrong way on Friday, and then obviously the plan happened where Solo and Jimmy rolled up, which didn't make any sense. Because why would y'all just not jump him instead of like coming over to Roman and then Jay and them show up? But um, I don't know. It was go with me here, EJ. When you listen to the promo, all the stuff they were saying was good, right? Like they were both making good points. It all made sense. But it just felt like it was not as important because The Rock wasn't there. Am I crazy?
That's how this whole feud has been feeling like, and people were begging for Roman to inject himself a little bit, and then when he does, it still doesn't feel as important when The Rock is on TV. That's the shadow that The Rock always casts on anything he's involved with, and that is what it is, I guess, right?
Like if you listen to the crowd Friday night when Roman and Cody were in the ring, and then listen to the crowd when The Rock hit the ring on Monday night and didn't even say anything. I know one was in Chicago and one was in wherever the hell they were at Friday. And I know Rock wasn't advertised and Cody versus Roman was, but I don't know. It was like, and then Cody's doing a little insider baseball thing again, like talking about his Bullet Club cufflinks. Like
He
it
should
did,
stop
it
it.
didn't even get a reaction. Like
Fans don't watch other organizations like that, especially like the kids and stuff. So yeah, he kind of missed the mark on that one. But yeah, the whole thing just seemed a little bit off. And then that got me to thinking the past 4 years that Roman been back, everything's been fantastic. The presentation, the bloodline, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, Paul Heyman, the entrance, his championship run, the look, he changed the look up, the music. What else? This is like I said, his whole presentation, his in ring, like the in ring, like not talking about holes, just like his mannerisms and him talking to his opponents, his facial expressions, everything was. I just feel like he's still not like A+ on the mic. I feel like some of his promos, he's thinking a little bit too hard, and when he goes off cuff, like he kind of stumbles through it. Not like stuttering his words, but like he doesn't get to the point as quick as he needs to. And that's what I'm saying is the whole presentation this past 4 years kind of smoke and mirrors a little bit. I mean, like I said, everything's been great. The storyline's been great, but kind of has been smoke and mirrors. But his mic work a little bit?
I don't I don't think so, but I do think that he's definitely taken a back seat in this storyline, which is one of the main reasons I don't think Cody's winning. I don't think you can have the guy that's been champion for damn near 4 years that's dominated all the TV shows and the whole company and everything's been about him. And then for the last month and a half, he's been like the Rock's little brother. And then he's just gonna drop the title and go like that would be a it wouldn't even feel right to me. Like obviously Cody's gonna be the guy that beats him eventually. But this just wouldn't feel right if he wins right now. And they've only got a week to try to make Roman important again. But right now, he doesn't feel important. It feels more like it should be Cody versus The Rock than Cody versus Roman. So are you really going to have Roman drop the title when there's been a storyline going on for 2 months and he's been the B or C player in that storyline? Like, that doesn't seem right. I don't know. That just doesn't, that don't sit well with me.
I would like Roman to retain. I feel like it's more juice that you could squeeze out of this fruit if you haven't retained. But I just feel like the creative team are gonna have like a knee-jerk reaction on what the fans have been saying and do the Daniel Bryan thing. I don't want that to happen, but it's a possibility. I'm like 50-50 right now.
Nah, this is gonna be a Cody crybaby come to Jesus meeting Sunday night at WrestleMania.
I would
Y'all
love it.
wanted this, y'all gonna get it.
I would
They
love
gonna,
everything. I would love everything if that happened.
they gonna beat the shit out of Cody on Sunday night. It's gonna be bloodline rules. Drew McIntyre's gonna like. I want everybody. Everybody's talking about Stone Cold and John Cena come back. Bring them all back. I want everybody back. But at the end of the night, I want Roman Reigns standing tall and Cody, quote unquote, to get screwed again.
I, you just have to. You'd have to do the storytelling right. If you did that, you'd have to have Seth lose that tag team match and then Cody lose. If you just have him lose back to back nights, like, what does that do for Cody?
Yeah, Seth can lose. Seth can, quote unquote, injure one of his knees that got surgically repaired or whatever. And then Drew can squash him on Sunday night. And then Seth can come out and turn on Cody.
I want to be. I mean, I guess, but the way I would want to see it play out is the Rock and Roman losing, and then Roman winning the next night.
Just
But
1-on-1. No interference. Roman just beats him.
oh, no, it's interference, but it's not a bloodline. I feel like it should be like
Drew.
a swerve. Yeah, somebody else, not a bloodline, but a swerve.
Speaking of Drew, before we get to him and Punk, do you notice the shit that goes on in the background of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown?
Yeah,
Dude,
I
they was
saw.
talking. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I was gonna say I saw Drew talking to Heyman in the
Yeah,
background.
they do some sneaky shit on TV now. Like if you ain't paying attention, you're gonna miss it. I like that. I like that while the product is on, you need to be paying attention to it. You can't be looking at your phone or you're gonna miss something.
Yeah, I hope they make it make sense though. He's talking to Paul, so uh, something maybe with the tag team match. It wouldn't make sense for him just interfere with Cody and Roman 1-on-1. So yeah, like you said, you got to be paying attention.
There was no collision this weekend. So we'll get to Monday Night Raw and we'll hit the highlights of that. Let's start with Becky and Rhea.
Yeah, Becky was getting some boos. That made me pause. I'm like, really? And she made some good points. She was saying, you over there posting on the gram or posting your ass on the gram, and I'm out here busting my ass actually wrestling.
Don't nobody want to hear that shit. They just want to see Rhea's ass. I've been talking about that for weeks.
No?
They don't want to see no ring work. They don't want to see no work weight with Rhea. They want to see them cheeks.
Well, there you have it. But what a bunch of fickle fans.
Yeah, I thought we were past that. And look, y'all listen to Boot to the Face. Y'all hear me going gaga goo goo over fucking all these NXT women that are all in the background. But I also like women's wrestling. Like I just also like hot women. But the way people act for Rhea is just like it's another level. And I agree with Becky, obviously, because I'm a Becky fan. But like, and Becky even said it. You don't even wrestle on Raw. And Rhea's like, well, why would I wrestle when I could just post something on Instagram? And it's like, that's what I've been saying. She don't even wrestle. Like, I don't understand the tidal wave of like support that Rhea has, but it's just one of those things. It was like LA Knight was a little while ago, right? Like people get behind these wrestlers, and for whatever reason, they get this groundswell. And Becky was right. Like she's been there long enough to where she's kind of like, yeah, we know we've been there before. Like we know you're the man. We know you're great. you're gonna have a great match. But like, this is our new toy over here. And that's what Rhea is right now. And I like Becky saying, like, you've never had the experience not being the new shiny thing. You haven't had the experience longevity. And I felt like there was a lot of truth in that just by how the crowd was reacting. Because of Becky's longevity, the crowd's like, we like you, but we're cheering for the other girl now. The other woman. I'm sorry. I think there was a lot of truth to it.
Yeah, there was a lot of truth, but at the end of the day, the fans are still siding with Rhea. So where do you go with Becky?
I don't think they're siding with Rhea like fuck Becky. I think they're siding with Rhea like right now we like Rhea. Sorry, Becky.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to have a knee jerk reaction and turn Becky heel, but I got a feeling Becky's losing at WrestleMania.
I wouldn't mind Becky turning heel though. Like I think this would they tried to turn her heel versus Charlotte when she became the man. That didn't work. The heel turn she had when she came back at SummerSlam didn't work. But if she turned into like a ornery, fucking jealous, old veteran, not old, but like veteran that, she's protecting her spot and she's tired of these young bitches coming in here. Like, I don't know. I feel like a more aggressive, like mean Becky it'd be something different. It'd be fun. It'd be new. Why
Well,
not do a double turn? Rhea's supposed to be a heel right now. She gets cheered. So why not just make Rhea babyface, turn Becky heel, and have Becky beat her for the belt?
well, if Becky wins at WrestleMania, that's the only route you can really go.
I don't think so. I think they'd probably boo at WrestleMania, but I think when she came out on Monday Night Raw the week after that, not the day after because it's in the same city, I think. But once they start touring again, I think the crowd would still be behind Becky.
I
If
don't,
they
I
got her,
don't think so. I don't think so.
I, Rhea's not even like doing anything with the title though.
No, you're making logic, but the fans aren't obviously. You've been logical this whole time, but the fans like what they like. I don't understand it either, but it is what it is.
Fan is a derivative of fanatic.
Yeah, exactly.
Logic goes out the window. You're
And
you're right.
they look what Rock said. You don't need to get a podcast. You need to get yourself a straitjacket. That should have me rolling. But yeah, he's the uh, Dave LaGreca is the embodiment of most people out there. I don't know why. They can't even tell you why. They can't make it make sense, but it is what it is, and you just have to navigate around it, you know?
Yeah. Another segment on Monday Night Raw Monday Night Raw, by the way, great last night. Just enough good wrestling, but really good promos and just segments also. Uh CM Punk in Chicago comes out, has a back and forth with Drew and Seth Rollins to where Seth Rollins ends up laying out Drew McIntyre. I don't like CM Punk. Breaking news. I thought Drew owned CM Punk in this segment. And I'll tell you why. But I want to hear what you thought of the segment and who you thought came out on top in the war words with these three.
None of them. The whole segment was garbage. I did not think.
Wow.
I didn't think McIntyre cooked CM Punk. CM Punk was just
Wait,
CM Punk.
wait, garbage?
It wasn't. It was like almost like an AEW segment. No direction. Everybody was just talking and blabbering and not really getting to the point. I didn't like it.
That's CM Punk's fault. But
Well, it may have been,
agree,
but
I agree with you. It did seem very non WWE-ish. But you didn't like it at all. You didn't like anything.
Nah, I didn't like it. I don't think McIntyre cooked Punk. I want to get your thoughts on why he cooked Punk.
The line about you're straight edge, you don't do drugs, you don't drink, but you spend all your time in rehab. I thought that was phenomenal.
That was clever, but the crowd wasn't like, oh snap.
Oh, I don't judge off the fucking crowd. I'm talking about what I like.
That was clever, but besides that little line, but what else though?
If you go back and watch that promo and you listen to CM Punk's inflection, he knows Drew's winning, and the way he's talking, the way he's interrupting and not letting Drew get his shit in, like Punk said what he said, and then when it was Drew's turn and Drew started cooking him, Punk starts cutting him off and saying like he does this thing that he tries to involve all this backstage shit that people can't respond to, and I don't like it. Like him saying, "Well, who made you the chosen one?"
Oh, yeah.
Like Drew obviously can't say, "Well, Vince McMahon picked me," right? Like he always wants to involve like real life shit instead of storyline shit. And everybody thinks that's the coolest thing in the world. And I think that's stupid. We're in a storyline right now. We're talking about like pro wrestling stuff. You're bringing up shit that's going on backstage. Like, nope. Like to tell Seth, like, oh, Seth Rollins wearing lift in the shoes now. And now all of a sudden he's taller than me. And Drew McIntyre dyes his beard. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I thought that Seth line about his heels didn't really hit like Punk thought it was gonna hit. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the gift and the curse of this Triple H era. I feel like Triple H is letting them, like the top guys, kind of not giving them a script and kind of letting them do their. I'm sure they give them bullet points, but they kind of probably give them more free range than what Vince did. And sometimes it
Yeah.
can be good, and sometimes it can't, or it does. It's not good.
Punk was doing it. I remember the night Punk and Hangman and Moxley had their issue in AEW. And I remember being just so annoyed with Punk. Like he's doing snow angels in the ring during Moxley's like he's just I'm not a wrestler, so I can't technically speak on that, but I just feel like he's very disrespectful towards his coworkers, right? And he was like that on Monday Night Raw. Like people are trying to talk and he's cutting them off and throwing these little jabs in that have nothing to do with the storyline. And then at one point, this is when you know Drew was cooking him. Punk said he said something to the ilk of, "That's right, we're in Chicago. Y'all tell them who you came to see." And he was expecting them to start chanting his name, and they didn't. So a couple seconds later, he goes, "I can't hear you," or something like that. And people are going to start chanting CM Punk. Like he had to lead them in the chant because they didn't do it beforehand. I just feel like which I felt like since the pipe bomb, if you can't cut a good promo in the storyline without just like bitching about your workplace, you're not good on the mic. And everybody gives this guy credit for being like top of the line, but all he does is like talk about backstage stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's why they like him. I don't like getting too inside baseball. I feel like he was going in that direction. That's why I didn't like it. And like you said, like what can the other wrestler really respond when you're getting too inside?
Exactly.
And it's I mean, I get it. You're trying to get that shock factor, but I like when it's done cleverly, not just to do it to get shock factor. And I don't
Exactly.
know. I feel like that segment last night was all over the place.
I also feel like Punk is just like grasping at straws to stay relevant. Like he came out talking shit about Roman, The Rock, like, and then like some of the shit he was saying, like, why's The Rock bringing up my name? Because Pat McAfee asked him a question about you. Like The Rock didn't bring you up, or I'm sorry, Roman
Roman.
Reigns didn't bring you up. Yeah, he was asked a question about you, and then he says, he tells Drew as Drew's trying to talk about the shirt he's wearing, and he cuts him off, and he's like, "I've never had to put another man's name." Well, guess what? Twitter never misses. A picture was of CM Punk wearing a shirt that says "I broke Big Show's arm" or hand or whatever when they were in a feud and he was in the Straight Edge Society. So he did have another man's name on his shirt to sell it. The guy's a fucking hypocrite.
That's very hypocritical. But I don't see the point of rolling them out there. always like out of sight, out of mind whenever he was ready to return. I think I get why they did it because they were probably afraid that Chicago would hijack the show, but he's in the company now, so it's not like they want to eventually get to see him. So I just think the appearance was
Well,
unnecessary.
he was out there so they could do the thing with him being in commentary. But then, like, the crowd's chanting refereeing. He's not going to be the referee. And Drew's like, you can't even do it because your right arm's messed up, and that's how you count. And he like jumps on the ground and counts with his left arm. You know you're not going to be the fucking referee. So just stand there and let Drew say that your right arm is fucked up and shut the fuck up.
I
Sorry.
mean,
I just don't like the fucking guy, man. Like he's so annoying. I'm just ready for him to go away. Like I hate the fact that he keeps getting hurt because he keeps coming back. Like I feel like if he wouldn't have ever got hurt since he came back from AEW, he'd probably be retired already.
why?
Because he would have got his fucking fix and he'd be done. He'd be over all the bullshit and all that. But every time he comes back, he gets hurt and he never gets to have an actual run. And he still thinks he's got something in the tank, but he doesn't.
Well, he's probably gonna get hurt again, so you better get used to it.
Cody Rhodes comes out on Monday Night Raw and he's talking shit. I'm going to WrestleMania. I want. There's a famous Dusty Rhodes promo. I want to think it might be the Hard Times promo. And he's looking in the camera and he's talking like an old black Baptist preacher. He says, I want you to reach your hands out towards the camera. My hands are touching your hands, and we're all going to walk in here at the same time. And I feel like Cody was trying to channel that last night with, let's everybody point at the sign together, and I'm going to go win. And then all of a sudden, The Rock's music hits. Unadvertised. Nobody was ready for it. Somebody said he looked like Thanos just fucking appearing right there to come fuck shit up. Crowd goes crazy, whispers something to Cody, walks away. Crowd starts booing. End of the night, Jey Uso beats Nakamura. Cody and Rollins are out there fighting off Jimmy and Solo. And The Rock attacks Cody Rhodes, beats the shit out of him, makes him bleed, puts his blood all over the belt with Mama Rhodes on the back of it. Sidebar, if The Rock doesn't post a workout video this week with him in that weight belt with Cody's blood on it, I'm going to be so disappointed.
He's got to follow up with that, right?
Raw goes off the air with The Rock standing over a beaten down Cody Rhodes. How'd you enjoy The Rock on Monday Night Raw last night, EJ?
And I thought it was done perfectly. The way they didn't advertise it, he just came out of nowhere. Nobody expected it. It's a big shit. Like, if you go back in hindsight, Chicago's a big city, so why not have The Rock pull up? But nobody expected it. Came out of nowhere. That's what's missing from wrestling nowadays, like the random surprises.
Mm.
But yeah, and I like how when he came out the first time, he didn't say anything. He's a heel now, so that's how you get heat. Come out there, stare him down, don't say anything. The fans were cheering, and then when he did that, they were booing. So that's a good way to snag that heat back. And he said something in Cody's ear. I know the internet sleuths were trying to decipher it. Did you see any theories on what he said?
I read his lips.
You did?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said, tonight I'm going to make you bleed.
Oh, okay. Well, he said it and he did it.
And Cody looked scared as shit when he said it.
Yeah. Ain't you supposed to man up in that time? And
yeah, you're supposed to whoop his ass. You gonna do what? We'll do it now, bitch. Eat this right hand. And he just
that's an interesting response by Cody, just a little terrified. But maybe they're playing to the storyline. And like you said, how they double back with the main event, and he just put a beating on him through the trash can at his head a couple times
Yeah,
outside in the rain. That was a good visual of them out there in the rain, busted them
yeah,
open.
that looked like some. Did you ever play Batman? What was it? It wasn't Dark Asylum. What was the name of that game?
With the new PlayStation one.
No, it was like 4 or 5 years old.
That's what, yeah, the PlayStation ones, like Arkham Asylum.
Arkham Asylum. It looked like some shit off of there where like the Joker's doing shit out in the rain. Like he looked like a super villain.
Yeah,
It was in the rain backdrop of it, I think made it. And you got Cody's bus in the background with his little vodka shit on it. The visual of Cody on all fours crawling and The Rock talking shit to him. And there's a picture of Pharaoh on the bus right there looking at Cody like, get up. After The Rock talked so much shit. There was so much little shit in that I don't even think happened on purpose. That was
yeah.
just so good. But Pharaoh being painted on the bus looking at him and Cody getting his ass kicked in front of him, I thought was so like ironically funny.
Pharaoh, like Egyptian Pharaoh, or
No, Cody's dog. The Rock's been
oh,
talking shit about.
I don't know his damn dog's name. That's funny though.
Yeah, The Rock's been talking shit about. He's like, Pharaoh? You call your dog Pharaoh? You should call him shithead. He's a stupid looking dog.
Yeah,
Uh, there was at one point, Rock was beating his ass, and the production trucks are on the other side, and it's Stone Cold right here and John Cena right here. And they're looking at him like, and everybody's like, are they doing this on purpose? Or is all this shit just happening? Um, I don't know. It was just good all the way around. And it was simple too. Like Rock didn't put him through tables or use glass or any of that. He just punched him a lot.
well, he threw a trash can at him.
Yeah, twice.
So that's something. But then, like you said, he didn't have to take it to the extreme with a lot of other extra stuff. Yeah, it was just a classic beatdown. And like we talked about earlier, that was probably one of the best things in this feud. Once again, overshadowing the Roman Reigns aspect of it. I'm not gonna take credit for this, but and I don't even like the guy, Bully Ray, but he was saying like, why not have Roman Reigns like come out at the end of the beatdown, just like hovering over Cody, just to kind of put some emphasis on the whole segment or whatnot.
Yeah, it was kind of odd that The Rock was there with the bloodline and Roman wasn't there.
But maybe it's long term storytelling and long term booking or whatever. Maybe they'll address all of this once this is over after WrestleMania.
They got a lot going on in NXT right now.
I can tell how
Yeah,
locked in you in on it.
I'm not completely caught up on NXT. Like I watch it while we're doing this. I thought Thea Hill and JC Jane were cool. I didn't know they were beefing.
I think that happened like 2 weeks ago where she had a breaking point. Thea Hale had a breaking point.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. The Rock's just I honestly wish all the Cody crybabies just like I know I said last week it was a blessing in disguise, but I still want that Roman versus Rock thing. I think that would have been so much bigger than Cody versus Roman right now. And I'm gonna love it when all these motherfuckers drive to Philly or fly to Philly. They buy all these tickets and Roman still wins. And Cody's still not the champion. But last night was just really fucking good. Anything else you got from notes of Monday Night Raw or SmackDown? We missed the LA Knight home invasion if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like they finally put some juice in this whole match. I know you don't care about it, but that's something that to build up this match. Like not a lot of people are gonna get one-on-one matches at Mania, and they picked it up a little bit with LA Knight going to that man's house. I mean, AJ Wright had every right to be mad and call the police if somebody rolls up at your house like that.
I'll say this. I know everybody was talking about AJ being way bigger when he came back. To me, on when he was in wrestling, I thought, Yeah, I mean, he's put on like a couple, like little bit of more muscle than normal, but he didn't look crazy big. Him sitting there at that interview where they were like zoomed in on him, AJ's fucking huge.
Yeah, that's all he was doing was pumping. He got those jailhouse muscles. He was pumping iron when he was injured. But yeah, man. I'm not sure how good the match is gonna be, but they gave us something last week.
Yeah. At least AJ, LA Knight will get his one-on-one match this year. Lashley damn sure won't, probably.
So they said it's supposed to be 14 matches total, and I think what five on each night have been announced. I wonder what else they're gonna add at this point.
I don't know, but on our next show, we'll be doing predictions for WrestleMania, EJ.
They're sneaking up. But if you had to choose, what 4 matches would you add?
I don't even know what all matches there are, but
I
I
mean,
definitely have Bianca and Naomi and hopefully Jade take on
Damage
the
Control.
other 3 members of Damage Control.
That seems like a no-brainer, right?
Or you'd have Bianca and Jade or Bianca and Naomi challenge for the tag titles and have Jade wrestle Dakota
Mm,
in a squash.
nah. I say condense that and have that 6-woman match.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jade just come out there by herself and just squash Dakota though at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I guess.
You can have them
So
on separate nights. You wouldn't even have to have them on the same night.
true, you could do that. So the the matches that have been announced are the Bloodline tag match and the 2 world title matches. So that's 3. Then you got EO, Bailey, Rhea, Becky, the 2 women's matches. Gunther, Sammy, Judgment Day tag team match. LA Knight, AJ, Usos, U.S. title. Logan Paul, Randy Orton, KO. So you said you'd want Damage Control added. So what other 3 matches then?
Well, that's 2 matches right there.
What?
Damage Control for the tag titles and then Dakota Kai and Jade.
So you're just gonna split them up, and then you got 2 more. So you're gonna put Lashley and that creepy uh Karrion Cross click, I guess, in there.
Yeah, I'd put Lash and the Profits versus them. Like let them blow
Ooh,
that shit off.
I think the Profits are gonna be in that tag team match, but they do. I don't know. Is Triple H a Waller guy? Because I think that's what it's down to. Waller and what's his face
They're
versus the
not gonna
Profits.
not have Waller and Theory on WrestleMania.
Why not? What have they done where you got to have them on the card?
Because they're young and coming.
I don't give a damn about that. Yeah,
I
Bobby
feel
Lashley.
you. I hear you. I'd rather have the Street Profits too, but I'm just telling you what I think is gonna happen.
Because they're young enough. That's not a good reason, though. They're young enough coming. They didn't have
Oh, what
Lashley.
you want me to tell you, EJ? You asked me my opinion.
I know Lashley ain't young enough coming, but he missed last year's Mania, so they
That's
don't.
why I think they're gonna have the Profits and Lashley versus the Final Testament as a blow off
That's
at WrestleMania.
and then there's one more. You think Rey Mysterio somehow gets on there?
Mysterio versus Dominic again. They're gonna run that back.
I feel like they kind of pop that out of nowhere. Dominic, I don't want to see that run back again.
Mm.
You don't need to, unless he's gonna somehow involve like Santos group in LWO. I don't think you need a straight
Like
up
some
one on
kind of
one.
like women's battle royal or women's gauntlet match they should do. What's Liv Morgan doing?
Sitting her ass at home where she should be.
Mm.
No, I don't think she's got a spot this year. It
Yeah.
is what it is.
I'm honestly like, I don't think you need to make matches just to give people a spot. Like, get over throughout the year, and at WrestleMania, we'll give you a match.
I agree. You got 14 matches. If you can't figure out how to get on a 14 match card, then that's a you problem.
Like right now, if I had to figure out one more match to add, I would definitely put Ricochet on there over Liv Morgan.
Yes. He did great on Monday, but who? Like, who you put him against?
I don't think it matters.
Unless you're gonna put him in that tag team match, then I don't see a spot on there for him.
Add Ricochet to that fucking ladder match with KO and Orton and Logan Paul.
I wouldn't mind seeing that,
He still
but
got beef with Logan Paul anyway, and it's a ladder match.
if they would have started building a
Yeah.
while ago, but
It ain't gonna happen, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be mad at that. But we'll have the whole next episode dedicated. Unless AEW does something crazy this week, the entire next episode is gonna be dedicated to WrestleMania predictions, where EJ will be in Philadelphia.
indeed. And
So
we
we'll
gotta and we gotta talk
have live
about
reaction.
and we gotta talk about Stand and Deliver.
Yep. So next week's show will be all predictions. But speaking of next week, EJ, we're the 10, you know, I don't want to lie. So let's go with Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. And then I'll get to what I was going to get to in a second.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week is a man who's always classy, always has style. By the end of the night, he had to take his suit to the dry cleaner. I got Cody Rhodes as my street wrestler of the week. You know, he's always fly with his 3-piece suits and whatnot. But like I said, The Rock said, you got to take that to the dry cleaner now. Rain and blood all over it. He might as well just throw that suit out, right?
That suit's just going to remind him of an ass whooping.
So yeah, Cody's my street clothes wrestler of the week.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week is it was spoiled last week on NXT. It's Gigi Dolan.
Really?
Yeah. I was liking what she was doing.
What she have on?
Little skirt on. I don't want to get creepy. She's looking good.
Did she have street? I thought she had
Yeah, she was backstage at NXT. You have to go look at it. Here comes Lola Vice.
Ariana Grace. Is that why she had on in the backstage? Was she doing a segment of her?
Yeah, she was doing something with Ariana Grace. You're absolutely right.
I'm a fan of Ariana Grace.
And I'm a fan of Gigi Dolan.
I think we're fans for different reasons, though.
I think Lola Vice is fucking moving Gigi Dolan down the list of my fandom, though.
Yeah, I think the reason we like both of the wrestlers we named for different reasons.
What are you talking about? Gigi can do an armbar. I was right, EJ.
What's that?
I was about to talk about WrestleMania T-shirt week, and I wanted to say this is going to be the 10th year that I've been doing it, which I have. I've been doing it so long, EJ, that the very first WrestleMania T-shirt week post, I wore a Hulkamania shirt.
That didn't age well.
Now, for those of you who don't know the story, I never liked Hulk Hogan. I always hated Hulk Hogan. But I needed a Halloween costume one year, and it was like the last minute, and I went to the Halloween store, and they had a Hulkamania like T-shirt and beard and all that shit there, bandana. I was like, oh, this will be funny because, I like wrestling. So the Hulkamania shirt at the time was the only wrestling T-shirt I have. I actually wore it to WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta. Again, not a Hulkamania fan. I just didn't have any other wrestling shirts. So the very first, wow, she's coming out to fight Lola Vice? Nice. The very first WrestleMania T-shirt post was Rucker in a Hulkamania shirt.
Did you end up using that Hulkamania shirt as toilet paper later down the line?
I don't know what I did with it. I don't have it anymore. I know that. But yeah, the 10th anniversary of WrestleMania T-shirt week, and I want this one to be the biggest that we ever do. Last year was a really good one. So this year, I've come up with prizes. I have 4 prizes. First place, second place, and third place will get to pick what they want. First place goes first, second place goes second, third place goes third. I have a 8, and this is dedicated to the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. So every prize that I'm giving away has something to do with Cody. I have AEW action figures that have never been opened from Cody Rhodes. I have a Blood Brothers with him and his brother Dustin, where they're covered in blood. I have the AEW Superstars figures that look like LJNs when we were kids, EJ. You remember the big rubber ones?
Yeah.
I not only have the one with the blue and white Cody pants, but I also have the Chase, which is the red and white Cody pants, which is harder to find. And then I have a TNT Championship Cody Supreme that comes with him wearing a belt. It comes with different heads. It comes with a T-shirt. Uh, comes with a couple other things. Those are the prizes, and the only way you can enter is by posting yourself in a wrestling T-shirt. You can get 1 entry per day. You just post it on social media. You hashtag WrestleMania T-shirt week, and you tag Boot to the Face in it. And the day or the show after WrestleMania, we will pick the 3 winners. You listen to the show. When you find out if you won, you let me know which one of the prizes you want. Very simple. Again, in order to enter, you post your or you just post your favorite wrestling T-shirt. You don't have to be wearing it. Hashtag WrestleMania T-shirt week. Tag Boo to the Face in it for your entry, and you can get up to 7 entries from Monday through Sunday of WrestleMania Night 2. This is my favorite time of the year because I see some shirts, EJ, that I never knew fucking existed.
Example.
There was a Vader shirt, I believe, last year that I'd never seen before. There's just been, not everybody goes to WWE shop or shop AEW. Some people get shirts from like local shit. Some people have indie wrestle shirts you've never seen. You're like, that's a cool shirt. But yeah, it's a good week to just bring positivity to the wrestling community where people are bragging on the t-shirts that they got, other people telling them how dope they are. I don't know. It's just always been a lot of fun. This is the 10th iteration of it, and I want this to be the biggest. So I'll put on Twitter on Wednesday of this week and Instagram. Let everybody know the rules, and we start Monday. We ride at dawn.
So you started this before Boot to the Face, right?
Oh yeah, I started this in 2014. I wasn't doing boots of the face shit. This is just something that I fucking came up with one day, and then we've already talked about them before, but some radio show started doing a every day for a month leading up to WrestleMania. I'm gonna wear a wrestling T-shirt and just fucking surpass what I was doing, but I was doing it first, so fuck them.
If you started in 2014, wouldn't this be the 11th annual?
What?
Yeah.
God damn it! Did I miss it? It's been 10 years of it, so yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah, because the year you started on will be the first annual, and if it's 10 years later, this will be 11th technically. But
Well, we're celebrating 10 years of WrestleMania.
yeah, so everybody, make your entries. 'Cause if you don't play, you won't win.
Yeah.
I don't have luck winning with stuff, but maybe you will have better luck for the listeners out there. So get on it.
Even if you don't want the prizes and you just want to show off your t-shirts, like do that. It's just fun to, like 6 months after WrestleMania, I'll just randomly like search the hashtag WrestleMania t-shirt week and see all the cool shit that was going on at the time. It's a lot of fun.
For sure. It's that time of the year. This is Christmas for wrestling fans, right?
I think so.
So yeah. Get your entries in, people.
EJ, we got 2 more segments left for you. Let's see how you want to end the show. You want to go with we already did street clothes of the
Yeah.
week. So we got power rankings left. That's it.
Yeah, power rankings. I'm pretty sure I went last week first. It's hard to keep up.
I'll go first. No biggie.
I think you actually did go first last week.
Okay, well, I'll go second.
So I'll go first. Power rankings of the week. It was a lot to choose from. And I'm cheating this week. I have a tie at number 5.
Mm.
And you talked about this guy earlier. Ricochet had a hell of a match with JD McDonough. It went through like 3 segments, didn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it probably wasn't that long, but they did have a bunch of commercial breaks in it.
And yeah, they put on the show. That's the best match I've seen JD have. And like we were talking about a couple weeks earlier, was separating Ricochet from being talked about like a Will Ospreay. I just think it's time on TV, I guess. I don't think, like you said, the promo maybe not there as well, but I mean, he could do the same stuff. And he's a little bit smaller, but I just don't think they give him the opportunity like that. I mean, he had a big spot at SummerSlam, but they've been trying to heat him back up. Isn't this like he win like 3 in a row? Hasn't he beat like everybody in the Judgment Day or something like that?
Yeah, but all I know is my man had him in like a hammerlock, and he just jumped straight in the air and did a Canadian destroyer. Like, who does that? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. It was dope. Um, I also had tied at number 5, Santos Escobar. He beat Rey Mysterio on SmackDown with the help of Dirty Dominic Mysterio. So those are my number 5 entries on Power Rankings.
My number 5 is Ricochet. That was easy. My number 4, your new TNT AEW champion, Adam Copeland.
Word. Yeah, like we talked about earlier, it was a fun match, and I'm curious to see what they do with it. I wouldn't mind, like I said, I wouldn't mind if he goes out there and have bangers with the up and comers, but you said you think they're gonna run it back at Double or Nothing though?
More than likely, but hopefully not.
Yeah, I don't really need to see it again. That was your number 4.
Yep.
My number 4 is still your TNA Women's Champion. Had a really good match with Tasha Steelz on Impact. Jordan Grace, Rucker's friend of me.
I'm not even gonna address that.
Let's leave it alone, I guess. Then
Good for her though. She's cracking a boot to the face power rankings.
she's been on mine before.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if she's
think
been on
I've
your
had her
list.
on here. I've had her on once or twice.
Yeah. That's a twice out of how many other shows we've been doing the past year and change. Well, number 3, we talked about this earlier. That street fight on Collision, not Collision, Rampage, the main event of Rampage. I got Julia Hart and Sky Blue at number 3. Hell of a match.
My number 3 is your new Continental Champion, Okada. Anytime you beat Eddie Kingston, you can get in there. Not that he's good enough to be held as like a gatekeeper, but just thank you, Okada.
Hey man, Eddie Kingston's still a strong champion, and he's still the ROH champion. I might pull up the Supercard of Honor.
I think you should go to everything.
I don't know about that. A lot of money, Rucker.
Or save you some money and come to Vegas May 31st.
Hey, we'll have to talk about that off air. But yeah, what was that? Your number 3 or my number 3?
That was my number 3. My number 2, the tag team of Julia Hart and Sky Blue. I'm very AEW heavy this week, by the way.
I know, right?
Yeah, I thought, with an honorable mention with Statlander and Willow. Like I thought they did great.
Yeah. Nothing really to add on to that. You hit it on the head. My number 2, I have Okada, your new Continental Champion.
Mm.
And I feel like Tony Khan laid out the rules for it. If you're the champion after Full Gear, and you got to defend in the tournament, I feel like it's kind of a disadvantage for the champion. Like, why would you want to hold on to it and then you have to defend it in the tournament? But that's kind of a punishment. But I guess that shows how tough you are, I guess, if you the champion going into the tournament. But I don't know if Okada will hold it that long because he might be on the bigger and better pasture, but it should be fun right now. So that's my number 2. I guess that takes me to my number 1. And it's your number 4. Adam Copeland, your new TNT champion.
Number 1?
Yeah, number 1.
Get
It
the
was the
fuck-
main event and it was a title change, so can't really get higher than that, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And like I said, I don't want to see this feud continue, but knowing Tony Khan, it will. But that's my number 1.
My number 1. This is history. For the first time in the history of Boot to the Face. My number 1 is the entire show of Monday Night Raw. I thought this is the best Raw I've seen in a long time.
Really?
Between promos and like, it was fun to watch. There's a lot of times Raw just drags along. Last night's Raw, I thought was like, when it was over, I was like, well, fuck. I ain't even get my boy main event Jey Uso on here. He beat Nakamura in the main event with spear. Yeah, I thought Raw was. There wasn't a point in Raw last night where I was like, what the fuck is this? Let me go do something else.
Too many people have the spare, but that's a conversation for a different day. Yeah, there was a Candice LeRae, but it didn't last long, so like you can't really bitch too much about it.
I was gonna even say, even the Candice LeRae stuff, I didn't mind. I was literally about to say that, and you started talking about the spear.
That was a point. That Candice LeRae spot was pointless. How short it was. Yeah, it was a good Raw. I think you liked it because it was storyline heavy. You had Becky and Rhea, Punk, and then you had Rock bookended. Rock and Cody bookended. So it had a good beginning, middle, and end, and that's what you want from a show, right?
Yeah, it was literally built for me.
Yeah, it was a really good Raw, and like you said, that's history. I don't think you have a show ever win power rankings, but that's why we're here. Make history, baby.
Well, EJ, the next show we do will be predictions for WrestleMania. I'm excited about that. You'll be in Philadelphia, which will, if you take some pictures and videos and shit like that, we'll make sure we get them posted. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here and head on into the weekend?
Nah, you covered everything. I might have to pull up the Wale Mania, man. That's what everybody's talking about.
Good luck finding tickets, because from what I understand, they're hard to come by right now.
Let's just say, I might know a little birdie.
You might know somebody to know somebody to know somebody.
Yeah, but should be a weekend, man. And Roddy even had Meek. Do you see that? They had a little Meek Mill promo, or did you not catch that?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, they had Meek Mill on there. So maybe he's gonna pull up. It's in his home city, so he has to pull up, right?
Yeah, good. Either him or Freeway.
Yeah. Or a little Uzi.
Fuck Meek Mill. Didn't he pull up on the Cowboys and the Eagles talking shit?
Probably.
Yeah, fuck Meek Mill.
I mean, you can say that about the whole city of Philly. You can say that probably about Freeway too.
Yes. Fuck the city of Philadelphia. That's why I ain't going.
Well, there you have it. Oh,
Yo.
it would be dope, man, if him and Cody came out the Dreams and Nightmare.
You catch me in fucking St. Louis before you catch me in Philadelphia. And I don't give a fuck about St. Louis.
You know, have some mad Philadelphians and Missourians pulling up in your DM.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, there you have it.
From Missouri. I just don't like St. Louis.
Well, I've heard there's some bad blood between those two cities, KC and St. Louis. So
I-70 rivalry, baby. Meet me in the middle. What's happening?
there you have it, folks. I'll do it first here.
Before we start the gang war. For E.J. Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Tune in next week and let's start WrestleMania T-shirt week off right on Monday. Peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude.